Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday, and welcome to our Tuesday Talks with Greg. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Greg Jamiel, and I want to welcome you to our Tuesday Talk. So, if you are seeing this, if you could comment or like it, that will let me know that you can see and hear me okay. And then we will get right into our talk for today. So, let's see. There we go. Hey, Vaso, good evening. How are you doing? Good to see you on there. All right, we get people checking in now. That's perfect. Well, welcome everyone. So I first want to go over some exciting just housekeeping things. So first and foremost, we are about to begin our Balancing the Chakras course that I'll be teaching this coming month. So on April 19th, we will begin. Now, I have two offerings for that. There's the general portion, and then there's the VIP portion if you'd like to have a half an hour session with me each week over the course of the month that we'll be doing this course together. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is that we only have 4 spots left on that. So if you have been thinking about it, or if you're interested in it, I'd encourage you to either reach out to me to hold your spot, or just go book it today. And you can book that VIP membership on my website, gregoryjamiel.com. And you can click on the main heading there, and that will take you to the registration page about balancing the chakras, and we will be good to go. So I just want to make sure. I had a few people reach out to me on email and say, hey, I want to sign up for this thing. So I just want to let you know we're getting ready to start. We're about 2 weeks away. So if you're interested, hop on there and register, because you are not going to want to miss this course. It's going to be fantastic. And I'll be sending you a custom designed set of chakra cards that I made to help you learn and study and use these in your own home altar to be able to get more familiar with all of the aspects of each chakra. And today, we're actually going to be going over one facet of these chakras. And it's one of the most, for me, it's the most, one of the most exciting things, because I'm a graphic designer. So I am really fascinated by symbols and logos and all of those things. And when you look at symbols around the world, around history, many different things come up for us. And it's a visual representation of a feeling or an idea or a concept. And so we've just had Easter a couple of days ago. And so, the cross symbol, whenever you see that, it invokes a certain response within you. It has some type of meaning to every person who sees it. And a lot of these chakras that we're going to be talking about today, I have 2 different versions of their logo. So I have one on here. Oh, there we go. That you can see with the symbols. And I'll go through each one of these. And I'll also be showing you the individual chakra cards that I made. There you go. Just trying to get that glare out of there. So we'll go through these, each one for you, and learn a little bit more about it. Now, the interesting thing about the chakras and the symbols that go with them is they represent different earth elements, different petals of a lotus, and they all mean something specific related back to that chakra. So I'm just going to go through the list and kind of tell you a little bit more about these chakras and what they mean, especially for those of you who are thinking about signing up for this course. This is going to be a nice little intro into something that we will dive a lot deeper into in the course itself. Now, symbols are all around the world. Let me grab this water. Symbols show up all around the world. And I was writing the notes out for this talk today, and I kind of laughed because I was like, well, I have a tattoo of one right here. Here's the Om symbol. There we go. That is tattooed on my arm, because that's a very important symbol for me. And when my yoga journey began, I really, I love tattoos, and I wanted to get that. And so that's why that Om symbol is on here. And we'll talk more about that later. But I have some other symbols that may be recognizable for you. My sister went to Egypt, and she brought me back one of the Ankhs. Now, the Ankh is an Egyptian symbol that you've probably seen, and it means, I'm just writing all this down to make sure I get it right, the key of life, or the breath of life, or the cross of life. And so these symbols you probably recognize, you've probably seen around the world. This is one of them. Another one, I forgot, Lukey's over here, but I don't want to have him get it. But that Greek eye, I have one of those eyes, the all-seeing eye. It's like a navy blue with a white blue circle in it. That's another symbol. I'm just looking around my room at how many symbols I have here. So there are tons of them. And symbols, we also interpret symbols when we begin to get messages from the other side, or messages from our loved ones. And one of those symbols, a lot of times people will see hearts in different places. And we have from my friend Kelly over here, there we go. She went for a hike and she found this beautiful rock that was in the shape of a heart. And so she took that home, and now this lives in our home here because it has meanings to her. This is a symbol of love or something specific to her. She picked it up for a reason. It meant something to her. So I thought that was pretty interesting to share with you guys today too. Those different symbols, and also colors. Colors, at me being a designer, color is very important. So one way to understand the concepts of color is to think about a hospital. When you go to a hospital, you are panicked, right? There's typically an emergency. You're there for a reason. You're hurt, or your loved one is hurt. And so people know this, the designers know this when they're designing a hospital. And so they paint the hospital either in white or in a light blue. Blue is a very calming color. It's a very subtle, gentle color. And so when you walk into a building and the shades of blue are all around you, you may feel encompassed by this soft and gentle and calming, soothing energy. Now, contrast that with an ambulance or a fire truck. Those are mainly painted. I mean, I've seen some white ambulances, but most of them are painted red because red is a very emergency color. When you see red, you're like, oh my God, okay, get out of the way. You hear the siren. They oftentimes say never paint your bedroom red because the vibration of red can be very stimulating and very engaging. And when you sleep, you typically want to be down regulating and resting. So color therapy has something to do with it. And the reason why I'm sharing that today is because each of the chakras come in one of 7 colors. And if you think about the rainbow, the visual spectrum of color, it goes Roy G. Biv, right? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. And those are different wavelengths that we see with our eyes, that the cones in our eyes actually pick up and see. So knowing now that colors hold a different vibration and a feeling, and then adding on to the symbols to it, it may help you understand the symbols of these chakras that we're going to be talking about in just a second here. And again, if you guys have any questions, of course, write them in. And my good buddy Luke is over here. He's going to come join us in just a minute. He wants to help answer your questions too. Okay, starting off with the first symbol that we're going to talk about tonight, Muladhara, the root chakra. Now I'm going to try to avoid my light over here so you can see it up close. This is the symbol for the root chakra. And if you look at it, you'll notice this is about structure. The root chakra is at the base of our spine. The root chakra has an upside down triangle in it, which is the alchemical symbol of the earth. Now, the 4 petals that are around it represent the 4 different states of your mind: the mind, the intellect, the consciousness, and the ego. So those are the 4 different petals that you see on the outside of the chakra symbol, the 4 areas of the mind. And you can see on the one that I created that there are the 4 different petals, and then you have the upside down triangle right in the middle. And again, that triangle acts like a funnel of energy. The interesting thing about this funnel of energy on the chakra systems, their symbols, is they are inverted. So this triangle that you see here, we would actually kind of assume that this is a funnel funneling energy down to the earth, right? When you see a triangle with the point on the bottom, but it's actually gathering the energy from the earth and dispersing it up into the upper chakras. So that's the symbol of the root chakra. Svadhisthana is the sacral chakra. I'll hold this up for you. Svadhisthana is about water and creativity and fluidity. The circles represent the circles of nature. So birth, death, and rebirth. There are 3 circles in the Svadhisthana logo. The lotus petals represent the flower of life, the lotus, okay? And so you can see this here in the chakra cards that I've designed as well. There's that lotus flower, that lotus symbol representing the journey upwards towards enlightenment, towards those higher chakras, okay? So there's that one. Manipura. Now, again, this is we only have a half an hour to talk, and you know me, I'll talk all night if I can. So I'm going to try to get through these really quick so I can answer some of your questions. Here is Manipura. Manipura is the solar plexus chakra. Okay, this represents fire, our will, and our confidence. There are 10 petals in the lotus flower. I'm trying to get there we go. And there's 10 petals in the lotus flower around this symbol. Those 10 petals represent the 10 pranas of the body. Now, you may have heard me talk about the word pranayama, which is breathing. It's an energy. So there are 5 energy breaths moving upwards, that liberating current, and there are 5 energy breaths moving downwards in the manifesting current of our chakra system, which is why we have a 10-petaled flower for the solar plexus chakra. The upside down triangle is seen again here too. You can see it on this one. There we go. The upside down triangle is again gathering that energy from the lower chakras and bringing them up towards the heart chakra, the middle chakra of our whole chakra system. Okay. And here is again the chakra cards, the altar cards that I designed. So you can see the fire element and that 10-petaled lotus flower that is circling that chakra. Okay. Now, moving on to the heart chakra. Anahata is the name of the heart chakra. I'll hold this up for you. Anahata is about air and compassion and love. The 2 triangles pointing up and down are the connection between the upper sky chakras and the lower earth chakras. And so this is showing that this heart chakra is the center of our chakra system. The 6-pointed star of the 2 triangles pointing up and down in combination to the 12 petals represent the 72,000 energy channels that we have in our body. Now, those, you may also know them as acupuncture points, or nadis, people call them in different lineages. Chinese medicine calls them the nadis. And there are different points of pressure. So if you have ever experienced acupuncture, they may stick a little needle in your ear and it is moving energy in your low back or something like that. So it's representative of all of the different energy channels that we have in our full body, which is pretty amazing. And here is my version of the Anahata. You can see the roses, you can see the 6-pointed star again, and of course the 12 petals of the flower around it. Okay, so Anahata. Now, moving up to Vishuddha, which is the throat chakra. Here is the symbol for Vishuddha, for the throat chakra. There we go. Now, the throat chakra is representative of the communication that we have. It's our throat, so we're expressing ourselves. We're talking, there we go, and expressing our feelings and thoughts. Now, the throat chakra has, again, that triangle of energy moving the energy up towards the crown chakra, up towards enlightenment, and it also has the 16 petals, which in Sanskrit, there are 16 vowels in the Sanskrit language. So these petals represent the different vowels in the Sanskrit language. When we're speaking about the throat chakra, we're talking about the vibrations of what happens when we speak our truth. So do we speak in a loving, gentle, healing way, or do we speak with poison and sharpness that can cause damage? So it's really kind of being aware of how we speak in the world. And I've represented this in my cards that I'm going to be mailing to you with this symbol here. Again, the 16-petal lotus flower. I have music notes all around it. Similar symbols that you will see in the very basic chakra logos. Hey, Kelly, good to see you. I see you popped in there. Okay, moving on to the brow chakra. Okay, here is Anj, the brow chakra. There we go. Trying to center that up for you. Now, this is all about vision and intuition. It has again, the upside down triangle moving the energy up towards the brow, and it also has 2 petals this time. This is representative of the 2 different energy fields in our body. Okay, so yet again, moving up towards the crown, we're trying to funnel and gather all of this energy of our chakras into enlightenment. And so as we move up the chakra system, again, that upwards movement, I mentioned this before, is the liberating movement. The downward flow of energy is the manifesting current. When we talk about the liberating current, what we mean is we come from our home in the root chakra, the base of our spine, all of the things that we can touch and feel that make us safe and keep us alive. and we move upwards and outwards to the vastness of the universe and different spiritualities. And so there's that upwards, freeing, liberating current that happens when we move up the chakras. Now, contrary to that, when we move down the chakras, we're moving in a manifesting way. So we want to have a thought that we have in our mind actually become reality. And so we need to give that energy and those thoughts some boundaries and guidelines as it moves down our chakra system to actually manifest and coagulate into something real and tangible that we can touch. And hopefully that makes sense. Okay, here's my version of the Brow Chakra. So yet again, the two different petals, and we have our triangle on there, and again the Om symbol as well that you can see on my wrist, which is quite common in most Indian traditions and elements. Coming up to Sahasrara. Now, this is the crown chakra. Here we go here. This is representative of our divinity. This is our divine connection that we have. Okay, I'll turn it like that a little bit. And what this represents is the divine circle with 1,000-petal lotus flower. It is it's made to represent our divine unity with all beings and the universe. So if you think about that circle of life and death and rebirth that I spoke about down in the Sacral Chakra, this is kind of a visual representation of that. This is the 1,000-petal lotus flower here with all the colors of the rainbow, right? Representative of all the different aspects of who we are as people. And this is kind of the overarching image or the way that we navigate ourselves through the world. It's who we are as a being, who we are as a person. And so I want to go back real quick and just talk about those colors. So root chakra, once again, red, right? Sacral chakra, orange. Solar plexus, yellow, again, inciting different vibrations for the colors that we have here. The heart chakra is a little unique because the heart chakra is represented mainly by green, but it's also represented by pink. And so what they say is that there's two different areas of our heart. There's that kind of warrior heart, the thymus, the glands, and then there's the actual physical heart, that conjunction of organs and nerves that kind of keep us alive. So there's two different areas in the heart that we focus on, and those colors are green and pink. Then moving up to the throat chakra, we have a light blue. The brow chakra is indigo. So remember, Roy G. Biv on the rainbow, right? Indigo is the second to last, and then violet is the last one. So we have all of these colors of the rainbow represented, and it's, again, putting that whole spectrum of visual light into our body, right? We talked about crystals. We talked about how they refract and reflect different light and energies. And I'm sure you've seen in a crystal a little hint of a rainbow. I have these prisms. It's just close enough. Here you go. I have these prisms in my room, and in the morning, it's so pretty because the sun rises in the east, and I have an east-facing bedroom. And so in the morning, my whole bedroom is kind of showered with rainbows in the morning, which is really pretty. So, okay. Oh, it says Jim says my broadcast keeps freezing up momentarily. Lukey, can you open that door just in case? I don't know if that's causing any issues, but we're going to open the door anyway. So I want to go through here and talk about your questions and kind of see. Lukey, you want to come over and help? Just leave that door wide open. Yep, and then you can come on over. And we'll see what questions you guys have for Luca and I. Here's Luca. If you guys remember him, he was over here last week. So, Luki, let's talk to these things real quick about the chakras here. Which chakra do you feel the most associated with? Which one do you connect with the most?
I feel like I connect with the fire.
The fire one. And speak really loud so they can hear you. What about the fire do you connect with?
I connect with the fire because I feel like at the nighttime we usually have bonfires and it's really quiet, really peaceful, a lot of fire there.
Yeah.
You can see all the sparks and it's just really calming when you do that.
It is. It is so calming to sit by a fire. And Lukey knows we have lots of fires here too at night. So let's go through, Lukey. Thanks for sharing that. Let's see what questions people have. Let's see here. Lots of hellos. Hey, hello, Rena. How are you? Good to see you on there. And Deborah, of course, good to see you. Welcome back. So Deborah says, acupuncture fascinates me, but scares me too. Does it hurt? Deborah, I thought the same thing too. When I originally was like, I'm not into the acupuncture, the needles. But it actually, I can't feel a thing. I really love it. And I'll tell you one thing. I used to lead trips up to the top of Mount Adams, and I hurt my knee one day, and I was not thinking I could lead that trip up there. But I went and they did acupuncture on my knee, and I felt amazing like 2 hours later. So I'm sold on the acupuncture for sure. Hey, Mary Lou, good to see you on there, cousin. So let's see here. We are so much more than just human beings, but it's hard to imagine. Will learning the chakras help with knowing that? So, yes, that's a great question, Deborah. Learning the chakras is a roadmap to who we are. The thing I love about the chakras is they focus on 7 different aspects of our life, 7 different aspects of our being. And I always feel that you can have a seat. I always feel that when you look at your life in a holistic point of view, you are actually able to make changes that have a lasting effect. And you can grow and learn in a really powerful way. If someone's trying to lose weight and I said, hey, just eat lettuce, that's going to help you lose weight. That's one aspect of that. But if I said, get your rest, move your body, exercise, sleep and recover and heal, you're approaching this thing by a lifestyle change. And so when we work with the chakras, we are working on changing and tweaking our lifestyle so that we can learn different aspects of when these chakras go out of balance and when they come into balance. And so it is definitely going to help with learning how to be let's see what that know yes to know where things are in place of with each other. So that will help there, Deborah. I hope that answers your question. I got a little conflux there at the end. Let's see. Oh, Pat saying, Deborah, it does not hurt, the acupuncture. So yes, if you guys have any questions for me and Luca, go ahead and type them in. Hey Susan, good to see you on there too, Bella. So Luca, we should talk a little bit about what else these chakras do. So when you are looking at your life in a holistic point of view, you want to make changes and grow. We're going to be talking about that manifesting and liberating current. Now, I mentioned that a moment ago, and I want to talk a little bit more about that. That manifesting current, when we feel stuck or blocked, sometimes we say, hey, I have a plan, but it doesn't manifest. There's some blockage along the way. And so using this chakra balancing course that we're going to be having in a couple of weeks, you will learn the different ways to remove those blockages and get that energy flowing again in your life. Oh, looks like some more people are writing in there. Which should you concentrate on to heal a heart grieving? Anna, fantastic question. So the heart healing is put together in many different areas. Luki, let me ask you, how would you heal your heart when someone's sad? How do you help them feel better? How would they heal their heart? And speak up nice and loud so Anna can hear you. What do you do to heal your heart?
What I do is I would probably try to think about a lot of good things that have passed, and I think it would make my heart feel a bit better, and it helped me know that there's a lot more things coming up, and it'll be really nice. And you just think about that.
Yeah, that's a great piece of advice there. So yeah, what Luca was saying is think about those good things to help remember that person that you lost or that pain that you felt, and remember that each day that you wake up there is a new beginning and good things are coming. Life is going to be okay. For me, what I would say, are there specific things you can do to help understanding the heart healing? It's doing that self-care. It's actually tending yourself. It's trying to support your own healing. A lot of times in our country and in the world, we're not allowed to heal. We're not really encouraged to cry at a funeral. I mean, if someone I know over in Italy, people wail at funerals. They move their arms up and they're crying and crying. And some people are like, ooh, oh, they're just displaying their emotions too much. But they're actually mourning. They're letting that energy move through them. A lot of us in this country can be a little bottled up about how we express our emotions. And when we don't allow ourselves to cry or move that sadness, it will build up and stagnate in different areas of our body. So one of the things that I always suggest doing is to go for a hike or move your body or run around, do some physical activity that will get the blood pumping and that energy moving again. So I hope that helps answer that. Bonnie says, will my big garnet rock work, my stone? Yes. So Barney, we were talking before about different crystals and the energies that they carry. There are different crystals that work with all of the chakras, and they do aid in that vibration. They help kind of bring that chakra energy back into balance. And I'll be talking more about those crystals in our course coming up there. Jesse, hey cousin, good to see you on there. So Jesse asks, are there specific sounds or vibrations associated with each chakra? Awesome question, Jesse. Yes, there are. And you may have been to a sound bath before. So some of you guys who might have experienced this, they have a thing called a sound bath, and where you lie down and someone will play these crystal bowls, and they're attuned to a certain vibration. So each chakra has not only a color like the ones that we talked about here, but a sound that goes with it. And they also have a chant or a mudra. So I spoke earlier about the Sanskrit language and how there are certain vowels in the Sanskrit language. The Sanskrit language is a language of sound and vibrations. So when you are saying these words like Manipura, the root chakra, just saying that emits a vibration that helps resonate and strengthen that root chakra energy. So yes, Jesse, there are sounds that have an association and a healing power to different chakras. Let's see, Carol Ann says, when I work with a client and I journey in a chakra, I encounter all. Let's see if Carolyn, there we go. Oh, scar tissue around them, almost like a wall that is common, then not spinning. So Carol Ann, that is a great thing to add in here. Thank you for putting that in there. I talked about in previous calls when we suffer pains in our heart. So when we suffer a loss or a sadness or a heartache, our bodies develop scar tissue just like our emotions and organs develop the scar tissues just like our physical bodies do. So when I cut my arm, my skin will become stronger and will heal around that. Scar tissue will form so that my arm doesn't get cut one more time. When we suffer losses and sadness, we feel that same scar tissue as well. And it's very important to face those feelings and allow them to process so that we don't develop scar tissue and blockages around our chakras. So thank you for adding that in there. Let's see. Do you want to talk to Kathy here? Kathy says, what a head start that young man is going to have on a healthy life. Hey, she's talking to you.
Thank you, Kathy. You are very nice, and I really do hope I have a good life in front of me. So, earlier before this live, I was over there with my mom and my grandma.
Talk up nice and loud for them. Yeah.
Kelly, and so I did one of these cards, and my mom read it to me, and it was a very good thing. I asked to meet my spirit guide, and it said exactly what I should do, and it said yes, I will meet it.
That's awesome. So yeah, Luca was saying he just did those cards. So last week we talked about the different divination tools, and one of them was the Rumi cards. And so he just did his Rumi card, and he said he's gonna feel his spirit guide. Is that what they said? That's awesome. So yeah, he's gonna be doing his own Facebook lives here soon enough too. Let's see here. Harold says, I once was told my dominant chakra was my throat chakra. Do we stick with a chakra, or are we actually moving to others? So Harold, that's a great question. We actually don't, when someone says that your dominant chakra was the throat chakra, I don't do that. We have all chakras, and all chakras are firing at all times. So it's not like just one is your dominant one, because we actually need all 7 chakras to live, right? They resonate, they take care of and affect all different areas of our life. So me personally, I don't subscribe to the thought that we have a dominant chakra which is more important than another one, because they're all important. So yeah, thank you for sharing that one there. Anna says, do our guides help with our chakras when they're out of balance, or must we work on them alone? So Anna, again, these are great questions tonight. So our guides are meant to help us in our life. We come here to learn certain tools and have experiences to grow from them. If our guides gave us the answers to certain issues and challenges we're having in our life, we would not uptake and learn that lesson. So I don't believe that our guides will help us. They may support us in the knowledge that we're gaining from going through something. Let's say, for example, you've lost a job and you're trying to find a job, and that brings a hardship to it. that struggle will not be alleviated by a guide that's going to help you out. But that guide may bring people into your path that will help you find a job. And so they will impact you that way. But the work of actually looking at our suffering and our pain and looking at our joys and triumphs and trying to discern some sweetness, some nectar they talk about, some lessons from each of these experiences is solely up to us. So let's see, we can do one more over here. Oh, Rena says, "Oh, I love Lucas." Luca, there we go. She says Lucas, but Luca, you totally lifted her spirit up. That's awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There you go. Well, thank you guys. Just a quick recap again. We only have 4 spots open for that VIP portion. The other ones, anyone can book in there. So don't worry about it if you're going to book the other ones. But if you're looking for that VIP one, we're kind of running out of spots. So if you want to hop on that, gregoryjamiel.com. And again, we're starting. Last day to register is April 18th because classes start on the 19th. You'll go to my website, gregoryjamiel.com, and I put the link in the description of this video too. And you'll see right on the home page this big banner that says Balancing the Chakras. When you click on that, that will give you everything you need to know. And as usual, you can totally email me or reach out to me at any time if you have any questions leading up to that. I see Deborah here says, so do our first answer to a major problem. So Deborah asked, is the first answer to a major problem usually the best? It could be, Deborah. It might be. So it's when we can work with our solar plexus, that's a great place for that. The place of intuition, the place of discernment, excuse me, not intuition, the place of discernment. When we can feel what is right and what is not right, we can then decide which course of action is the best one to take. So again, I don't want to take too much more of your time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Luca, thank you so much for chipping in and for sharing your wisdom with everyone too.
Yes.
You want to say bye or?
See everybody. I will see you next live. I might be in 2 lives. I might be in the next live. I don't know, but I will definitely come in here again.
There you go. So awesome. Thank you guys so much. And again, send any emails my way. I'm looking forward to answering them and looking forward to starting our journey together with this Balancing the Chakras course. Have a great night. Sweet dreams. We'll see you next time.
See ya.